So, kind of give an assessment of training camp practice number one, Coach Walker.
Yeah, like the energy, like the communication. A lot of really good recall from the springtime. A lot of new faces, so it's good to see everybody out there at the same time with pads on and playing football.
What did you work on?
Worked on everything, first down, second down, third down. Like I said, we got a lot of good work in the spring, and they did a good job this summer of getting together and having some player-run practices. So we were able to just dive right into playing football.
What are some of the big goals that you have here in these early non-padded practices?
Just to get assignment sound, especially with the communication. Like I said, we got a lot of guys that are here now that weren't here in the spring. So just getting people on the same page is what we're trying to get accomplished here those first non-full padded practices.
How much of a catch-up period is there for those transfers, those true freshmen that weren't here in the spring?
Yeah, really it's for the like you said, the transfers and the freshmen that weren't here, but we made up a lot of ground in the summer. I was really proud of the way Rowe and those guys got these fellas in shape, and they're really the players taking ownership over the scheme and getting inundated with the ins and outs and the whys of why we're doing things.
Just because you have so many newcomers, how much shuffling will you do in sort of the two deep during these first couple weeks of practices, just to try to give multiple guys some reps with the ones or twos or whatever, just to see what you got?
Yeah, a lot of shuffling because there's a lot of competition right now, trying to find the right combination of guys, especially up front. So we also have like a Devo period, developmental period after practice, so we can cross-train guys and get them used to playing different positions.
Some key guys weren't dressed out today. Gus Hartwig, Garrett Miller. Any long-term concerns about some of the key personnel that they didn't suit out?
No, not long-term concerns. They're just right where they should be in the rehab process. Our training room and strength conditioning have done a good job of being on the same page and getting those guys up to speed. And those guys are taking ownership over getting their bodies right. And so I'm happy with where they're at. And when they're ready to go play football and can protect themselves, they'll be out there.
What are some early things you want to see from your team this week?
Just the competition and embracing the challenges. That's the one unknown right now. It's just how we'll handle adversity when it hits, because we got some veteran guys, we got some experienced guys, but we don't have veteran experience together. And so it's just trying to put them in situations where they can get that chemistry going and react to adversity their proper way.
Hudson Card still looking good?
Absolutely. I was really pleased with some of the throws he had today. He's got poise. He's got communication. He's good with communication, and you can tell he's more comfortable just with his surroundings.
With Dylan slimming down, with Tracy moving to running back, do you feel like you added a lot of depth there without having to really do a whole lot of?
I do. Coach Connard is doing a great job with those guys as well. Tyrone really embracing that move, has changed his body, and he looks comfortable. He looks like a running back, and to add him to that mix with Mock and with Dylan, I'm excited about what those three bring to the table.
Does this team have a personality?
Definitely. You can, like I said, they did a great job this summer. I know I keep saying that, but they're always around each other. They're always pushing each other, holding each other accountable, and it feels like they want the same things. And right now we don't really have any egos, and so that, from my perspective, is a good place to be in. Through day one of training camp.
Corday, Salim, guys like that, just a little rest.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go when they're ready to go, and again, no concerns going into the season with those guys. Just they'll be ready when they're ready.
This might be a hard question because you see guys these days so much during the off season, but anybody sort of catch your eye today and you just saw and were like, hey, this guy looks like they did some work here over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, so it's because we added so many people post-spring, there's a lot of like oh wow, like he's what we thought he was. Again, it's through first day of training camp, but there were plays that were made out there by guys that we brought in to make plays, and so that's what you want to see.
Care to tell us who?
Jamal Edger made a few plays today. The guys up front, they looked the part and played hard, and then obviously we revamped that corner room. The guys made plays there as well.
Did you make any enemies when you said Sanusi was your favorite DB you've ever coached? You got a lot of other guys on your team.
I called all my DBs and I told them no, strictly for the camera. But Sanusi's doing a great job, and he's got a chance to to be up there in that conversation.
Seems like you have a lot of guys with personalities that are just kind of loose and charismatic. How big of a deal is that where you can kind of keep that loose feel going into, what is going to be a very stressful time up until that first game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is create an environment where people are comfortable and confident in their own skin. I'm a firm believer that once you get out in the real world, you have to be confident, and you can't be as confident as you can be if you ain't comfortable and happy with yourself. And so I encourage them to be individuals, and then learn how to be a team once we step foot on the grass. And up to this point, that's what they've done. They come in meetings, and they're themselves, and they're comfortable being themselves. They go through transitions where they're comfortable with themselves, and then when we get to practice or we get to workouts, it is a unit, and we're in unison, and everybody's heading in the same direction.
Coach Bielema has said that you are ready for this, but how much more ready are you now than you were in December when you came over here?
I'm learning every day. Like I'm not perfect. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna learn things as I go. I do feel confident in the plan that we have, and I'm confident in the people that are in this facility, and I'm confident in the locker room. But at the end of the day, I am constantly learning, and that will be the case for the rest of my career.
How are you going to handle captains? Are you going to have permanent captains? Going to be week by week?
Yeah, we'll have permanent captains. We'll vote on those. The players will vote for those at the end of the training camp.
Do you know how many you have? Is it 2, 3, 4?
Depends on who gets the most votes.